mission, solving mysteries in the night. Chasing shadows, finding answers, shining bright light. No one's left behind in the darkness, all alone. With a heart like a siren, she brings the lost ones home. Silent cries in the dark no longer have to be. For justice, wheels keep turning, granny on the beat. Broken voices find their power, call out hope again. When Granny's crime busters run, no victims left in vain. Bravery in her veins, truth she won't disguise. With a fire in her eyes, she's got nothing to deny. Granny fights for justice, never backs down from the call. For the voiceless and the missing, she'll stand tall.
Hello, hello, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good night so far. Hello, Ginger Girl. Amy, good to see you. Good to see you guys. Prayer Warrior, hello, hello. All right, let's get started with our spotlight on the missing. We have Kai Foreman, little 4-year-old toddler guys missing since yesterday. Last seen in Norfolk, Virginia. He may be in the company of an adult male relative. If anybody knows anything about Kai's disappearance or where he may be, please contact Norfolk, Virginia Police Department or call 911. All right. So I did want to, I saw that Mr. Yummy came out with a video today about the case that we touched briefly on last night, and I also did a video this morning. It's about another missing child's case in Canada that's just heartbreaking, and it's only an 8-minute video. I thought we would play it just to stay up to date on that case since it is heartbreaking. So sad. So sad. The one thing that I was really shocked about was the mother's TikTok. Blew my mind, guys. Blew my mind. So, without further ado, let's go there.
It's gonna get ugly.
That's Rachel Todd, and hours after posting that TikTok, she reported her daughter missing. So in today's video, let's analyze the case of Clare Bell and why it's giving me deja vu. I'm Deception.
If you want to hear that again, because he did it right at the beginning there, so I'll let you hear that again, guys.
You try that again, and this is gonna get ugly.
That's Rachel Todd, and hours after posting that TikTok, she reported her.
She recorded that TikTok hours before she drove randomly an hour away and said she didn't know where her child was. She lost her. Very strange.
Her daughter
continue.
Missing. So in today's video, let's analyze the case of Clare Bell and why it's giving me deja vu. I'm Deception Detective, an attorney trained in statement analysis. This channel exposes lies and manipulation, so if that's your thing, hit subscribe. For exclusive videos, early access, and other cool perks, consider becoming a channel member. Link in description. As I said in the intro, this case is giving me deja vu, and that's because we've been analyzing another high-profile missing child case out of Canada for the past few weeks, Lily and Jack Sullivan. The only difference at this point, though, is that Clare Bell's mother, Rachel Todd, has already been arrested and is going to be charged. Whereas Lily and Jack's parents are still walking free, even though they too have a very vague story about what happened. At least one of them took a long drive between discovering the kids missing and calling 911, and a ton of other similarities we've seen in all the missing child cases we've analyzed on the channel, which I consider to be hoaxes and cover-ups. So before we get into the breaking news about Rachel Todd's arrest, here's a little background on her story so you can see all those similarities for yourself.
Okay, so before we get into it, I see what you guys are talking about. Taking a break from bad news. I hear you. Hello, Lorenozo. Welcome in. We're happy to have you. I hope I said that right. But yes, guys, That's right. It was Father's Day that she went missing. Oh man. I don't know. And it seems almost like a DV situation, doesn't it? But I understand, guys. That's why I take a day off here and there. When it just gets to be too much, I kind of shut it down and I just watch a feel good movie, get my brain off of it for a while because it does. It gets too dark. It gets to be too much. So I understand where you're coming from. And it seems like every single case we've had lately has been very dark, right? Hi, Brenda. Yeah, it does. It gets to be Tom and Jerry Roadrunner and something, right? Maybe a comedian. I like to scroll through the reels and stuff and watch some of the funny antics, like some of those couples who do goofy things trying to imitate each other. And yeah, just different stuff like that, and that's why I try to laugh as much as I can on our lives because yeah, it does. It gets really, really dark. I'm watching act of kindness videos all day. That's a really good idea. It's a really good idea. Because I did 2 more videos today and I gotta tell you, what is the matter with parents these days? I do not understand how they can harm their children. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Is it only because media is at our fingertips now that it seems like there's a lot of it going on? What was it always the case and we just didn't hear about it because we didn't have media like we do now? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, laughter is a survival tactic. Exactly, Neuro. They have an eerie similarity, and that's kind of what Mr. Yummy's talking about here. Hello, chemistry. Good to see you. Yeah, exactly. I don't get it though. I don't understand how parents can harm their children. And this particular case that Mr. Yummy's talking about, before we get into the Jack and Lily one, very disturbing. I don't know if the mother had a mental break or just what happened, but something's not right here. So let's go ahead and listen to him.
Comes from friend of the channel, Plunder True Crime, who dubbed the Quebecois news reports about this into English. I've linked her channel in the description if you want to show her some love. All right, let's watch.
And the images of the vehicle she was driving were also made public, which traveled the distance from her home in the borough of La Salle to this souvenir shop along Highway 20 in Coteau-du-Lac. Clare Bell's mother parked her grey Ford Escape roughly in front of the store to eventually report her disappearance inside to an employee. He reportedly stated that she lost the child and does not know where she is. The SQ refuses to discuss the mother's mental health condition.
I would say that currently the picture is not very clear yet. We are corroborating some information as part of the investigators' work. And at the same time, there are search operations taking place today, particularly here in Coteau-du-Lac. You see, there are different units behind me, dog handler, drones, police on mountain bikes, police on foot, helicopters are on site, and there are other specialized units that could be added as well, depending on the information we gather. Many people ask me why we didn't issue an Amber Alert. It's important to understand that the type of event we're dealing with currently doesn't meet the criteria for an Amber Alert. We don't have
no information leading us to believe there was an abduction that posed an imminent danger to the child's safety or life. So we could clearly we couldn't trigger an Amber Alert.
No Amber Alert, lots of driving, a vague alibi, a big gap between when the kid was last seen alive by anyone outside the house and when they were reported missing. Like I said, deja vu. But the similarities don't end there. For instance, in both cases, we have the police refusing to talk about the mother's mental health, which, if you read between the lines, is an obvious indicator that there's a problem with her mental health. And of course, the big professional search effort that turns up nothing about the kid's location, although in this case, apparently they did find the family dog, who Rachel had apparently killed. I'll put my Lily and Jack playlist on the end card if you want to dive deeper, because I think these cases are more similar than people might expect.
Okay. I do want to put a disclaimer in there about what he said. They did find the family dog, and the dog was dead, right? And that's the dog right there. But I do want to say that the dog was dead, but we don't know what happened. Okay, so did she probably kill the dog, because they were seen leaving that morning with the dog, the baby, mom. So they did find the dog dead. Well, I mean, we don't know, without knowing how the dog died, we don't know that she took the life of the dog. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out. Okay, let me see. Yeah. Yeah, she definitely doesn't seem to have a healthy mind at all. This case is also in Canada. Okay, Quebec. Children are so vulnerable and unable to protect themselves. I have no kind words to say about. I agree with you. I agree with you. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Neural, I will, when Mr. Yummy is done, I will rewind it back. He starts out the video with her TikTok so that you can see it. It's highly addictive. I don't know. I don't know that it's highly addictive. I can take it or leave it, honestly. But I don't know, maybe some people can't. All right, so let's continue on. So again, we do not know what exactly happened to Puppy, okay? We do not know. Cute little thing, isn't it? We know that it's dead. Police found it, but we don't know for sure if mom here actually took the life. So all right, let's continue.
Expect, even though no one's been arrested in that case yet. And that brings me to the one little bit of good news in this case, if you can even call it that. And that's the fact that this mother, at least, has been arrested. So let's watch that update.
We do now have some breaking news to bring you on a story we're following out of Quebec on a missing toddler. 3-year-old Clare Bell was reported missing by her mother on Sunday. Police have now made an arrest in the case, and the CBC's Sarah Levitt is at the police command post for the search, and she joins us now. So Sarah, what more can you tell us about this new development in the case?
Yeah, Arthi, so the mother is appearing in court momentarily in a nearby courthouse. Rachel Todd is her name, 34 years old. Police saying that overnight, after having spoken with her, they felt confident enough to bring charges to the prosecution, who will lay charges of child abandonment. Whether or not there will be other charges, we'll have to see. Just a reminder of what happened here. This started all on Sunday at around 9:45. That's the last time that 3-year-old Clare Bell was seen. And then a kind of mysterious circumstances here, because between 9:45 and 3 p.m., it's unclear what happened. At 3 p.m., 50 kilometers away from the Montreal borough where she was last seen, the mother came here to this area and went in a store saying that she had missed her child. She was missing her child and couldn't remember what happened. So police now saying that they are confident enough to lay charges of child abandonment. I also just want to note that the mother appears to have had a TikTok account, something that the Radio-Canada has confirmed was indeed Rachel Todd's TikTok account. And in the hours before Clare Bell was seen, she posted a video. Now, we don't know the context for which this video was posted, but in it, we see her holding Claire, and she's said, "You try that again, and this is going to get ugly." And the caption says, "Have you come up against a mother with nothing to lose?"
Yes, that TikTok is the one I played in the intro, and it is definitely bizarre. Although without the full context, it's hard to say exactly what it's about. But if I'm betting it's her threatening Claire's biological dad and using Claire as a pawn, which unfortunately is all too common. In fact, it's yet another similarity to the Lily and Jack case. Except in that case, it was the stepdad Daniel Martel using his one remaining child, a little baby, to emotionally blackmail you and me. Here's that clip.
The children's mother didn't attend the vigil. Martel says the grief has been overwhelming and online speculation hasn't helped, especially for their daughter.
Here's word around Malehya and toward the kids. Don't attack Malehya, because her mental health is, it's going to be reflected on her daughter. So I don't want anyone attacking Malehya anymore.
Don't upset my girlfriend or she'll take it out on the baby. That's more than just manipulation. It's emotional blackmail with a veiled threat of child abuse, which is especially concerning coming from someone whose stepchildren have been missing for over a month. Emotional blackmail is emotional blackmail, and it's manipulative every time, whether it's veiled like Daniel Martel was doing or blatant like that TikTok video. All right, let's get back into this update.
Hours before Clare Bell was seen, she posted a video. Now, we don't know the context for which this video was posted, but in it, we see her holding Claire, and she's said, "You try that again, and this is going to get ugly." And the caption says, "Have you come up against a mother with nothing to lose?" The SQ not commenting on that video, but that's the latest news that we have so far. This is going into the almost third day now of the search, and there's SQ officers as well as volunteer search and rescue crew out searching not far from here. Yesterday evening, they found a dog that corresponds with the dog that was said to go missing with the girl. They continue to search. They have dogs out as well with the search crew. And so they're hoping that they can find this girl safe and sound. But so far, we don't have any developments.
I expect plenty more updates to come out about this case. In fact, Plunder has already told me that she's already digging up more bizarre TikToks. So if you want to follow up, let me know by liking, commenting, and sharing. Until next time, stay true.
There you have it. So, let's see what we're talking about here. So the mom was against the dad and did this. Yes. Oh, I promised I would show that video. Okay. So, Neuro, here is what the video said.
You try that again, and this is gonna get ugly.
That's Rachel Todd, and ours.
I'll play it one more time. Her tone is kind of scary to me.
You try that again, and this is gonna get ugly.
So she's threatening somebody, but we don't know who. So let's see. Hello, Donna. Good to see you. Joanne. Prayer warrior, you prefer reading? Awesome. I used to read quite a bit. We all turn into our grandparents, whether we want to or not. I know, right? I agree. I'm glad that they charged her with something so that they can hold her. Yeah, because who knows what else she's capable of. If she did kill the dog, I don't know. I just some, I don't know. That that TikTok video, you try that again, and this is going to get ugly while she's holding her baby. Something's wrong there. Something's really wrong there. Yeah, I agree. That poor baby looks scared. She does. I mean, we don't know yet chemistry, but that's kind of the the gist that we're getting, right? Yep, with the baby in her arms. We don't know. You know, Plunder has a good I mean, guys, this video that he showed, he got permission from her to show. I watched it today from Plunder. She's awesome, by the way. And it said that, I mean, they were talking, she was talking about how she had to pay to have the French translated in English for the news reports. You know, because I thought about using her video too. And then when I heard that she paid for that, I thought, no, I'm not going to do that because not unless I talked with her, right? So, hello, Noni. No, I did not. Yeah, she is awesome. She does a really good job. She pays for a lot of stuff. She she does a lot of FOIA requests, which most of the time you have to pay for. She does that. Um, which, you know, maybe she's young enough, maybe she works and stuff too, that she can afford to do that. A mother with nothing to lose is a very troubling statement, as a mother has everything to lose unless they lose their child intentionally. Not, I understood what you said. Neuro. No, Jack and Lily have not been found yet, and we've got a third one in Canada that is missing, unless Melissa, where did you hear that a blue container? Oh no. Oh man. Okay. Well, that's sad. I honestly, after hearing that the dog was dead, I wasn't holding out much hope for this baby, to be honest with you. And I don't like to say that, but obviously this woman, you know, comes back down to mental health, doesn't it? Hello, Cecilia. Good to see you. Yeah. Yeah, a third. Little girl on the screen is Clare Bell, 3 years old. And that's her mother. And she has gone missing. How about initials, Melissa? Just initials, please. Joanne says that hasn't been verified yet. Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't confirmed. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So we're going to flip over to Where is Walla? Because Walla wanted to hear this, right? From yesterday. Yes, it is really sad. I agree, Cecilia. I just breaks my heart. I hope let's see. CTP. Interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and switch over to Mike DeMann. And we're listening to what he had to say last night. A few people last night wanted me to keep going. We were almost into 2 hours, and I said, no, no, no. We would watch it tonight. So this one's entitled Malehya Didn't Just Leave. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I am not, I haven't watched this. So this will be, you know, an honest, open response. Depending on what's in it, we may or may not listen to all of it because I'm not going to take the chance. He is. But if, you know, it is a long time to talk and my voice starts going out, and yeah, I'm getting too old for that. Yeah, that makes sense. It's not mental illness, maybe a disorder personality. Well, isn't a disorder personality mental illness? I mean, I always thought it was. There you are, Walla. I was looking for you. We're watching. We're gonna watch what this is, but I just wanted to say, I don't want to be attacking Malehya. Okay, now, is it because of her mental health? No, because I don't know if she's got mental health problems. We only know what Daniel said. I'm reserving my judgment on Malehya because we only have had one video to look at. Okay, so if she is innocent but has, you know, we saw some red flags in that first video, right? If she's innocent but has some kind of guilty knowledge or, you know, guilt of neglect, right? Which in this case she might very well have, that kind of thing. I do not want to attack anyone who may or could be innocent. That's just not what I do here. Okay. So, I'm just saying that right up front because if the tone is coming across being attacking her, then we're not going to watch it. I just want you to know that from the get-go because I haven't seen it. Oh, personality disorders cannot be fixed with medical care. Interesting. Yes, accusations can fly fast. I try to stick with the facts as much as I can. That's why we listen to statement analysis. And yes, Mike is funny. You know, I like him. Um, I just think sometimes he can be a little bit accusatory, you know, and I guess we can all get like that. So, all right, let's continue on.
Tried to pull a fast one on us. And her interview is very significant to me because she tried to paint Maleyha's family in a horrible light. And it's not for me to judge whether or not this was deserved or undeserved. What I'm caring about is what happened to Jack and Lily. So if Maleyha's mother was a horrible person, I'm also going to ask what kind of person was Daniel? Oh, everybody has issues, right? There are issues in every relationship.
Yeah. And we did talk about that here. I don't hold anything that Daniel's cousin or Daniel have to say as truth. And the reason that I don't is because they're cutting down Maleyha and her family. Okay. We don't know that Maleyha didn't want to be with her mom. We don't know that she was controlling, or we don't know any such thing, right? Because we have not heard from her, right? So I'm not going to take somebody's word that she's trying to control Maleyha and all this. I'm not going to go there. I just, you know, yeah, exactly, Ginger. Family relationships can be very complex, extremely messy, and it's a he said, she said situation. It isn't worth trying to get in the middle of. And that's exactly what happens when you start taking people's word for things, right? You're actually putting yourself into the middle of their personal problems. I'm not going to do that. I'm just not going to take everything that they said as fact. Just not going to happen. Okay.
Logan avoids anything that has to do with whether or not there may have been tension within the relationship. But Daniel already told us there were tensions because he wants Maleyha to remember the Daniel she first met. She knows what that means. That's what he said. And that is a very typical language for an abuser, where everybody will advise their friend or family member, listen, you gotta leave him. It's been getting worse and worse and worse. And we are worried it's going to get even worse. There's going to be an escalation. There's going to be a time where something happens that you can't return back to normal from, if you will. And many times they leave the abuser. And again, I am not yet saying anything about Daniel. I'm saying to you, I'm looking at all of the potential scenarios, including, he said Jack was out. I believe something already happened to Jack, but the question is, and I need to be very careful how I word this, because there are possibilities I'm looking at, and the possibilities include the ones that nobody even wants to think about. For example, did Lily get hurt on purpose because she didn't shut up? Because she kept screaming? Because she was beside herself? because something had happened to Jack potentially. I have to look at everything. And many times I've seen criminal cases that have gotten cold. And why did they get cold? Because the one area that turned out to lead to the truth was the one that nobody wanted to entertain. Nah, it couldn't have happened. Nah, it couldn't have. Now, in Susan Smith's case, for example, she was such a blatant and stupid liar. It was pretty clear, I believe, to police immediately that there was something wrong here. But there are other people who are much better at it. And if Jack was out, Lily kept coming into the room multiple times. Maleyha was on her phone, so Daniel dealt with it. But what was it? Jack was out. Did something happen to Jack? Did Lily scream and scream more so than she did in that birthday video? They were wild with.
That's a good point. And we talked about this a little bit last night about, did the kids get into something? But did Jack get into something and Lily kept coming in and she was screaming? I mean, I don't know, right? One of the pictures of the kids, somebody said it looked like there had been abuse, and it was of Jack. But I don't like to show those and speculate on them because we don't know if they've been touched up, right? By this point, after a month, photos can be really touched up, right? By anybody on the internet. And to say that, you know, oh, he had a bruise here and he had a split lip here and he had, you know, fractured jaw or whatever, right? So let's see. You're wondering if Daniel is an alcoholic, could be drug addict, could be hypnosis voice. I hope you're not talking about me, Amy. I think you're probably talking about Mike. And yes, Mike does get to be a little bit hard to listen to. That's why I try to break it up as much as I can. No, they didn't fall into a well. You almost got sucked into a drainage ditch as a kid? Good. I'm glad it's not me, Amy. All right. So, as far as what he's talking about, his accent, yeah. Somebody say he's German, I think. Well, somebody said that he went through his clothes after the police asked him what he was wearing, and that's why they came up with a brown shirt and brown sweatpants, because those were missing. I don't know if that's true or not, but yes, it does seem very much scripted, doesn't it? And the difference between this one and the Clare Bell story is that the mother really didn't script anything. She just said she didn't know what happened. So, I mean, I don't know. That's why I went to mental health. Did she have a blackout? Did she, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, German accent. Right. Yeah, I think so too. I don't know. Let's continue.
her, they will talk your ear off. It's not normal to say about a missing child, about missing children, they will talk your ear off. That's not expected, people. That's cute when you are with your friends who are also parents and kind of like complain about how, oh, I had a rough day. My daughter did this and then she did that and da 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 da. Oh my God, she's talking my ear off. That's cute. That's fine. But you know what? You would miss your daughter talking your ear off if she was missing and all of a sudden she was in clear and present danger.
Yes, I agree with him. You would miss your daughter if, yes. And I agree with him that her saying that in the interview was weird. We all thought that in the beginning as well. In my opinion, she said it because she's trying to push the narrative. She wanted an Amber Alert. So she was trying to push the abduction narrative. And I think that was all a script, in my opinion. So, yes, they did find Claire's dog. Yes, I had a picture of it right there. That was her puppy. Cute little puppy. All right. Let's continue on.
You wouldn't think about anything that could be viewed as negative simply because it would be impossible for you to think negatively about your missing child. But this article from Crime Timelines, I mean, I'm assuming they know what they're talking about, but I'll take my chance here. By the end of the day, Friday, tensions escalated between family members following the disappearance of Lily and Jack Sullivan. And Julia, yes, absolutely. Let me look again exactly. One moment. Logan wants to make it seem that everything was wonderful. And Malehya said, I feel safest with here. And when somebody slips, a tongue slips, no. There are no accidents. She didn't say, I feel the safest here. She feels the safest here, or she feels the safest with him. She tried to mix them two together. That means she's being vague about either. She doesn't commit to either.
So, in my opinion, I'm not even sure Malaya even said that. Honestly, how do we know that Malaya even said that? If that was true, then why did she leave? We don't know that she even said that. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to take Logan's word for that, or Daniel's. If Malaya comes out and tells us she felt the safest there, or with Daniel, whichever she means there, then that's different. But Malaya hasn't said that. Right, Ginger. I've said it myself, but it's not a common statement when your child's missing, right? And I have a daughter that has a gift for gab as well. Hello, Michelle. Hello, K-Town. Good to see you. It's poor kids. I wish there was a license to be a parent. It might help a little. Maybe I hope they find all these babies missing. Also, why do they hurt the fur babies? Yeah, taking a life is taking a life. Doesn't matter what it is, you know. Amy. That's funny. Malaya said that in her interview. I'll have to check, but I don't remember her saying that. I could be wrong. Because I thought the first that it was brought up was with Logan. Okay.
But she has two goals: to keep Maleyha there in that house and to keep Maleyha under his control, because they are worried of her being out there. They think of her as a candle in the wind. Whoever gets to her first will control her. And when she was asked, okay, Maleyha just changed her Facebook status to single. Do you think she has a new boyfriend? No. Logan doesn't want to entertain that because she is fearing Maleyha will be under somebody else's control. And if this person says to her, tell me what really happened, that she will tell. They want to keep her isolated and under their control, to keep her silent, because whatever she will say may make her look very, very bad, but it will also make Daniel look extremely guilty. And from what I have seen about the police in Canada, they are very careful with what statements they make. But once they are on somebody, they go for it. Meaning, if Maleyha made a statement of her admitting to knowing something, they will not let go. They will really go for it and then have an excuse to really, really interrogate her. So they want to tread really, really carefully, because as some of you have stated, there have been cases in Canada where somebody was found guilty, but the process of the investigation, something wasn't done correctly and they had to throw out the case. So they need to be very, very procedural. But I'm thinking that the moment Maleyha really opens her mouth, really says just one thing that shows that she knows more than she's been trying to tell us, they will go for it. They will not let go. And they fear that because they think she is very weak and easy to control. So if she's alone in a room for a long time and the police is not holding back, they're not saying, okay, you're the mother of a missing child. And of course she will have her lawyer there as well. But that would be about her. Then they would cut a deal and then they would tell Maleyha, listen, we're going to get you maybe some psychological care, or we will do what we can to be lenient with you because you have if the actual actions were taken by Daniel, we will be able to sort of help you and understand that you have been in an abusive relationship maybe. I think she will be able to cut a deal because he convinced her, if I'm going down, you're going down. We're all going down. And she probably agreed on that. That script was 100% in agreement between these two. So he is afraid. They are both afraid. What if somebody gets to her now? And this is the first time, I think, that he loses complete control. Because if before maybe Malehya considered leaving him, I'm sure he was able to talk his way out of it. Remember the Daniel you first met? And that's what I was getting at earlier, when people try to get their friend or family member away from somebody who's abusive. You know what? Then, oh, but you don't know him. He can be so nice. He can be, and that's what the abusers.
I think it is really rare when family knows that the person's being abusive. So I know many in my chat have been victims of DV. Did I know I was. So for my own self, I mean, I did not tell anybody about the abuse until I was ready to go. Until I was absolutely done for sure. So most of my family did not know. None of my family knew. What about you guys? Those of you who have been through DV, did you tell anybody what you were going through? When you were going through it? I know that she said a few strange things. Definitely. I had red flags from her video. I'm not trying to defend her in any way, shape, or form. Yes, your daughter hid her abuse for over 15 years. They don't tell anybody. I'm telling you. You didn't tell anybody until after you were out. So this is a man who didn't have to. They saw it. Okay. DV survivor here. I was too ashamed and fearful to tell anyone. Exactly. That's how I felt. And typically, Joanne, I mean, yours, I think, is a little, probably a different case because my husband made sure to hit me where it wouldn't be seen. Yes. Daniel's brother says he's living about 2 miles down the road from where they were. I told my brother, who told my dad, who called the cops. Gotcha. Good for you, Amy. Gotcha, prayer warrior. Yeah, I'm the same way. Not because his voice sounds the same, but the way that he's speaking sounds the same as my ex. Right? The controlling, the anger, the yeah. Yeah. And then switch it so fast into something nice. I don't know about you guys, but my ex was well liked, still is to this day. He couldn't keep his abusive mouth shut. You never forget a real creep. You don't, right? Exactly. Yeah. So, I thinking Mike here doesn't. I think if family knows, obviously they're going to try to get him out of there. But if they don't know, they're not going to you know, they can't try to get a person out of there if they don't know anything that's going on, right? Oh, Daniel looks like your ex. I'm sorry. The belittling, the put downs. Yes, exactly. 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 And Joanne, I'm looking for, in fact, I'm on the same website that he is on, and I'm looking for her interview, and I cannot find it, of all things. It was May 3rd. I don't know. I'm looking for it, but let's continue on with
often go back to remember when I did this, remember when I did that for you. Remember, this is not the real me. I'm sorry, I was having a bad day, blah, 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 excuse after excuse, right? So oftentimes the victims of abuse, they hold on to the memories and they try to get them back. And that's exactly what Daniel is getting at with his last message there. Remember the good times. Don't remember the 2 or 3 years that followed, where it's been going downhill like more and more and more. Oh, don't remember any of that. And yes, thank you to some of you who have sent me, one of you who has sent me some information about how the welfare system works, that they, it looks like they have received, enough money to live from the government. And maybe Daniel worked under the table that 1 day a week, right? And I remember the email, I'm not going to look it up and read it out loud, but it was a good amount. And the status there is by how many vehicles you have, apparently, like the so-called social status, allegedly, in that area. And they had quite a few vehicles. But I mean, you got to pay for insurance, you got to pay, even though they had all these things, there was still not a lot of money left, if any. So how they lived could have been above their means. And then there was the claim, one of you claimed that that he probably rented from his mother, this trailer maybe. And so there was even money that they had more money than 1 day a week of work would pay. And I didn't know about how the welfare system works in Canada, so I appreciate all of you who message me. I am firetown@gmail.com, and fill me in a little bit, because it wouldn't make sense that the whole family sorry, I'm getting messages here.
I wondered what happened to him.
A whole family can live on a man working 1 day a week. That's not reasonable here.
Not reasonable, but we know that she was getting assistance, right? Take care, Cecilia. That's awesome. But yeah, so I was looking, Joanne, for that video, and the link doesn't go to her video, so I'm still going to look for it, but we'll continue on.
And so, yeah, people, in other words, they had more money than we may have thought, but they live above their means. So there was also, remember my first videos about this? I'm not getting into this right now because I'm looking at the CPS case now, the potential CPS case. And I do because of Logan's avoidance. And Maleyha avoiding the topic of them not having had their codes with them. Remember, PLAIDS, plates, priorities, leakage, avoidances, intention, deception, and sensitivities. We are looking for those. That's an initial scan when we get a new statement to lead us towards the right track. And the second time we examine a statement, we go for it. We go deeper.
I agree with them, but we need another statement. But I did find hers. So let's listen. It's 3 minutes long to Maleyha again. It's been a while.
I'm just staying as hopeful as possible. I want them home. I want to hold them. And I want them home. What happened was we woke up, I heard them playing in the next room beside us, and I was drifting in and out of sleep. And they're not the type of kids that we tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out there with them, watching them. And they happen to just get out that sliding door, and we can't hear it when it opens. And they were outside playing, but we weren't aware of it at the time. And the next thing we knew, it was quiet. And we get up, and I tell him, my partner, Daniel, I tell him, "Do you hear the kids?" And he says, "No." And we get up instantly. We're looking outside. We're looking everywhere, yelling for them. And I instantly just call 911. I just had the instinct I needed to call. They're both really go-lucky children. They're so sweet. They talk to anyone. They'll talk your ear off. They will speak to anyone in a store. Everyone. They're just extremely sweet kids. I appreciate the huge search effort going on right now. But we've been pushing for an Amber Alert, which hasn't been issued. Not just that they could possibly be abducted, which it is a possibility that they could have been, but just an alert to let everyone know that they are missing. We had people text me saying that they weren't aware to let them know that they were missing, and it would just be nice if everyone could be alerted. We thought maybe that we found tracks, but it's still uncertain. It's been raining and they're probably soaking wet, but with the sun today, I'm hopeful that they are feeling warm. We're all filled with pain and sorrow because we just want them found. We want them home. Everyone loves them. They are definitely verbal, and they do have possible autism, but it's not extreme autism. It's just they have issues with school, and they don't catch up with the other kids. I just want to remain hopeful. But there's always, in a mother's mind, you're always thinking the worst. Last night was one of the worst nights because I didn't have them in their beds. And I don't want to go through that another night without them.
Okay. So there we have it. I didn't hear anything in there at all. About her saying, what was it? Just bear with me here. I'm trying to look for something. So listening to hers again, it was about the kids. I want to remain hopeful. The fact that she feels sorrow, that's a weird word to use when your children are missing, I think. That relates more to death, doesn't it? In my opinion. Yeah. A strange kind of numb. Yes, that I agree with you, Noni. And she did say they're very verbal. Yes, she did. I did not hear her say anything Yeah. And that a behavior panel person would tell you that that's because they're trying to go off a script and they're forgetting. And so they have to stop themselves and switch back to the script again. It's amazing to me how much I'm learning about behavior analysis and statement analysis. I guess we watch it enough, right? But I did not hear her say anything in her interview about feeling safe there. So that comment only came from Logan. I don't even know if Daniel ever said it. Yeah, sorrow isn't a word you would use, right? I mean, Deception Detective has told us, right, that innocent parents continue to believe that their children are alive. Look at Jason Ayler. Jason will not quit, right? Seth Rogers, he will not quit. Yeah. Yeah, she couldn't remember what she was going to say. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people have put a lot of stock in what Logan is saying, and they've repeated that over and over, and that's why I'm glad I went back and looked again, because I didn't think I remembered her ever saying that. So, I'd rather correct misinformation than to have something being put in her mouth that she maybe didn't say. Now, maybe she did say it. We don't know, but it didn't come from her interview, right? Yeah, and to me, if that was the truth, she wouldn't have left. Right. Yes, Brandy Neal, that mama has been a warrior. Yes. Yes. She has been a warrior. Oh yeah, Joanne, no worries. No worries. I'm always wanting to I try to stick with the facts as much as I can. Not saying we always get it right. Not saying we don't talk about the speculation or the rumors, because we do. But I'm not going to make a decision on somebody being guilty off of a rumor, right? I want to look at facts before I determine if somebody is guilty or innocent. And that's kind of what we're doing, right? We're trying to figure out what happened, who did it, you know. I thought there was a possibility that Daniel was close by her when she was talking to the reporter. I don't know. I have no clue. That's a good question, Ginger. I wonder if the police asked her about her safety after the altercation. Right? I mean, that's almost like, that's a catalyst of her leaving. Whatever reason that she left, that altercation, if if we knew what was actually said, and I'm not going to take Logan's or Daniel's word for it, you know, if the RCMP were there, it'd be nice to hear it from them what happened, right? Somebody who was there that could be objective to explain it, who doesn't have a tie to either Malehya or Daniel, right? Or to any of their family members, right? To tell us what happened that day, because I think that would explain why Malehya left. But unfortunately, I don't know that. Well, Logan said she never met Malehya until that day, the day of the altercation, which was May 3rd, the day after the children went missing. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that we may never know. We just may never know. Yeah, she did. Because she made the statement, which again, I don't believe, that ever since Jack and Lily were born, it was all meadow, 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 meadow. Yes. The police report for the altercation, that would be incredible. There's so much to this case. I would really, you know, when you look at the Clare Bell case and the mother has been charged, arrested, for endangerment of a child, right? Well, why don't we have arrests in this case? For that same reason. I mean, there was obvious neglect, right? I mean, heck, all you have to do is look at the pictures, right? Let's see. The pictures of the yard. To know what was endangerment of a child. I mean, look at the back porch. Guys, can you imagine a 6 or a 4-year-old going down those steps? One rail, we don't know how sturdy it was. And look at here. You've got an open fence that they could easily get through. Even those steps, look at. I don't know, guys. Even back here, there's stuff outside of the yard. Look at all that. I don't know. Yeah, it's child endangerment, right? That's my opinion. Why don't we have arrest for neglect in so many other cases that we deal with? I know. I mean, because absolutely agree with the arrest that they made for Clare Bell. And we don't even know what happened there. We haven't seen the home, although they have secured that home with bolts and seals and will not let anyone in it. Yeah. Very odd that Daniel said he was the only one to take the children into the woods. Well, I mean, you know, I guess playing devil's advocate, if Malehya didn't like the woods, I mean, I guess I can see that. She may have left because Meadow couldn't stay there. Yeah. Did CPS say Meadow couldn't stay in that home? I know. I'd be afraid to get hurt there. Walk on something. You'd want to make sure you had a tetanus shot for sure, right? Exactly. She was doing a lot better for her children when she was living with her grandma. Her kids, their clothes and everything looked better. I mean, the whole thing, she seemed to be doing a lot better, Um, she's a young girl. Maybe she didn't like being out in the boonies with nothing to do all day. I'm just saying, it's not like you're going to take your kids for a walk. I wouldn't walk in those woods. Is that addiction issues or is that just a case of extreme laziness? I'm asking because I heard Daniel only works 1 day a week and she didn't work but went off every night. I don't know about her going off every night. But I know she didn't work and Daniel did only work 1 day a week. But she gets government benefits. Hello, AI Henry. We do not talk about other creators in our chat, if you don't mind. He had no regard for those children in such an unsafe garden. He had lots of free time. Yeah, I mean, he definitely did, right? I have seen the Wells house. Doesn't look much better than this, right? I agree. For Daniel saying he's done everything for the kids. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, as far as him only working 1 day a week, it was because of a slowdown at the mill or some dumb thing is what I heard. I heard Daniel was seen driving her car late at night. I don't know. Hello, Tiffany. Good to see you. He's too tired from working 1 day a week. Yeah. I mean, here's my question. I don't know. Daniel grew up there though, from what I've heard, right? So, but you live in the boonies like that. I guess I don't know. I could see how somebody could become depressed and in a rut, whatever, right? I don't know. Just really strange for sure, but I think, there's a reason that he said, or allegedly he said, that he was going to be the same person that she met back with the waterfalls and the beach, whatever that meant. So, what did he become that he feels like he needs to go back to being? That's my question. Right? I mean, what did he become that he felt like he needed to go back and be the person she fell in love with? Interesting, different angles of the house. But yeah, this website is Crime Timelines, and it's here. I'll share the link. It has all the information for Jack and Lily in the case. Good point, Lori. Daniel and his mother are used to living in those conditions, but Malehya, yeah, from what I've seen in some of the pictures, the floors were down to the plywood, right? And I mean, just, yeah, when she was used to better at her grandma's house. Exactly. Who did he become now? Yeah, abusers are good for making that statement, aren't they, prayer warrior? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. He's going back to being Mr. Boombasket, Mr. Romantic. The mask slipped. Yep. And you know what, Neuro? Once the mask slips, it never goes back on the same way. Right? So, yeah. He's barely working, can't afford waterfalls and beaches. If they were having bad financial problems, that alone will cause big problems in a relationship. Well, I could see why, if he was only working 1 day a week, she was the only one supporting them. Hello, Kent. Good to see you. Yeah, she was the only one supporting them. So, that might have been a cause for tension as well. That she probably got upset about, I would think. But yeah, this website is very detailed. It goes over timelines, information statements. Remember when I talked about yesterday how many updates the RCMP did? Okay, so we'll count them together. June 11th is the most recent one. June 1st, 2. May 31st, 3. May 30th, 4. May 28th, 5. May 18th, 6. May 17th, 8, 7. May 13th, 8. May 7th, 9. May 6th, 10. May 3rd, 11. May 2nd, 12. So 12 updates in a month. We did not see that many updates. Have we even seen 12 updates in the Sebastian Rogers case in a year, guys, from law enforcement? Need Ginger to pipe in here about Maleyha's income, because she dug into that. If someone's daughter lived like the parent would want to take them to a better home. Yeah, but I don't think her mother had ever been out to that home. I don't know, Noni. I don't know if she was spoiled or not. Not even close. Exactly, Noni. You know, and that's why I was upset about there being a petition, you know, asking RCMP to do a better job, because they have told us everything that they have done, and they've had 12 updates in a month. That's incredible. She would get Premier $1,800 a month for 3 children. Gotcha. And they probably have no rent. Yeah. Yeah, I doubt that. Property taxes, though, right? And do you guys pay property taxes in Canada? I mean, I don't know. I agree with you, Noni. Now, the petition I saw that I showed yesterday, I don't have the link anymore, was about the RCMP doing a better job, Kent. Yeah, I don't agree with the petition either. I didn't sign it either. Not going to, but yeah. Property taxes, gotcha. And do you guys have anything like Social Security for retirement benefits or anything? Like, what does the mom get? And you know, Kent, I'd rather they were slow and meticulous and get the conviction, but also let everybody know what they're doing. And that is exactly what they're doing. So, yeah, I brought it up in yesterday's video, Kent, that petition. I don't have it at my fingertips right now. Canada Pension and Old Age Security. Yeah, I am too, Melissa. I'm, you know, breath of sunshine after watching Sumner County, right? I mean, night and day difference. That's what I thought I heard. Hello, Raven Star. Good to see you, Raven Sunstar. $1,800 a month for 3 children, plus she would get a baby bonus as well per child per month. That's what I thought. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of like our Social Security. If we take it early, we lose a percentage of it. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you guys have about the same thing, but you have a pension, huh, for your country? That's interesting. So, see, she was bringing in more money than he was, for sure. But I have noticed when you look at her pictures, I mean, she used to have the blonde hair, the makeup, you know, the nails, all of it. I think even as far as lip plumping, which I don't know why girls do that, but her bottom lip was pretty plump. That's usually not normal when it's like that, but you know, all those beauty things cost money. Take it from me, I had two girls, right, who were into makeup and fashion, and I can't complain. I was too, so. But it costs. Nice. Our Canada pension is the money that was deducted from our paycheck while we were working. Okay. Cool. Interesting. I like hearing about how other countries work. Very interesting. But so did Malehya just walk away? The answer is, I mean, obviously she did, but we don't know the reason why. I don't know that she's ever going to come out and speak. Not until or unless something, children are found or whatever may be, but we don't honestly know. But I think there is, It has something to do with the altercation that went on May 3rd between, her family, Daniel's family, her and Daniel, whatever happened, and possibly the briefing that they had something to do with that altercation as well. So I don't know. She was working before she had the baby. Interesting. It could look like she was desperate to get away. Yeah. I don't know. They said that there was an ambulance there and that she went there first and then she left. But conveniently, you don't hear Daniel or Logan say anything about the ambulance. Why is that? Why haven't either one of them talked about the ambulance? Right? So, was she hit in the altercation? I mean, you would think if she was, or did she just have a nervous breakdown, a panic attack? Is that the briefing where they told her that they didn't think the kids were alive? I mean, I don't know, right? We could speculate all day long, but I don't think we're going to have the answers until people really start talking. And even then, I mean, Logan could talk all day. Honestly, I'm not going to listen to her. I'm sorry. I don't trust her. Seems very biased. And Daniel, I'm not going to listen to just one side, right? Especially when he, through those alleged texts, right? He's cutting down Malehya. And then the veiled threat of, please don't go after Malehya because it'll reflect on my child. That's emotional abuse. Yeah. What was said at the briefing that caused Malehya to have to go to an ambulance? You might want to ask Ginger that as well. Kent, Ginger, give us your input. Anybody else from Canada here? Yes, I agree. He's playing mind games. Yeah, panic attack. I agree. Good point, JDR, and welcome in. If he says that in public, what would he? How? Here's a real question. If he says that in public, how does he talk to her in private? Cutting her down, demeaning her, telling her she's crazy, I'll bet. Want to take odds on that, guys? Oh, Raven Sunstar, you are Canadian. Gotcha. Oh, all right. Gotcha. So maybe you can answer Joanne's question then, Raven Sunstar. You can, Ginger. Joanne wants to know if the issue of children's services scooping up the indigenous children is true. Joanne really wants to know, is there truth to the scooping of the indigenous children? All right. Is there truth to the issue of children's services scooping up the indigenous children? Two sides to a story. I know people who foster or adopt indigenous children, and there was no indigenous people available to foster or adopt them from the family. Scooping was done by the RCMP years ago. Yes and no. What is CAS? For those of you who aren't Canadian, we're learning quite a bit about Canada today. All depends, Granny. It's sad if that's going on. Years ago, but now the Micmac have their own CPS that supersedes the provincial services. I remember Ginger sending me CSA's Children's Aid Society. Gotcha. I remember reading an article or watching a video that Ginger had sent me on what happened years ago in 60s, I think. Your mom was Canadian? Gotcha. Well, and here's what I will say is that, first of all, if you guys are going with the thing that maybe Jack and Lily were scooped up, I don't believe that. I could be wrong, but I don't believe it. I'm leaning more towards accidental death and cover up is what I'm leaning toward in this case. But the mother has a tribal lawyer, so they're going to watch out for her and the children's interests. You believe that too? Accidental. Yeah. Could they possibly be hidden by family if not trusting of authorities? I mean, Joanne, anything is a possibility, right? Um, you know, I just think that with all the dash cam footage, the hours and hours of dash cam, hundreds of hours of dash cam footage that they got, hopefully would reveal something if that was the case. We know they were seen with family members on May 1st, the day before they went missing at 3:15 in the afternoon. So, from what I know, what I've heard, Maleyha's father is from the tribe. But no, she does not live on the res. JDR, Raven Sunstar is talking about Maleyha wouldn't get any money from the tribe if she didn't live on the reservation. But yeah, I mean, if you do not have a reservation addy, then you get no money. Yeah. Basically, he's talking about Maleyha. She doesn't live on the reservation. She doesn't get money from the tribe. So, well, Daniel said, I don't know. Somebody said that they did that the kids did get their status or something. I don't know. But yeah, I don't think the kids are there either. Tribe wouldn't hide them. So, right, they would still get regular government child support money. Yes, they would. So, all right. So I wanted to go into our grannyism today. Some people think that the truth can be hidden with a little cover up and decoration. But as time goes by, what is true is revealed, and what is fake fades away. So eventually, the truth comes out, guys. Eventually. I wish it was sooner in this case. I wish it was sooner in Sebastian's case. I wish it was sooner in Dylan's case. I wish it was sooner in Michael Monkey Vaughn's case. I wish it was sooner, even though it's only been a couple of days, for Clare Bell's case, and so many more, right? There's just so many more. But we have to trust the process. We have to trust that law enforcement is doing what they need to do. And I'm going to say, I do not care how long our CMP takes. They are letting us know what they are doing. I'm sure that they are dotting their I's and crossing their T's, and that they will have an answer here. I believe that with all my heart. Right. That's why I try to, we may talk about some of the things we've heard, but I try to make sure that you guys are aware that we can't just take people's word, because we don't know what's truth and what's not, right? But it's like the grannyism today. What is true will be revealed, and what is fake does fade away. So, I mean, think about it this way, guys. For any of you who followed the Sebastian Rogers case, or who, I shouldn't say that in past tense, who follow the Sebastian Rogers case, how many inconsistencies did we hear with Katie and Chris? We heard a lot, right? And those inconsistencies will eventually fade because they were fake, guys. So remember that what is true will be revealed. It comes to those who wait. That's right. Or be sure your sin will find you out. I mean, there's all kinds of sayings, right? Yes, we talked about that earlier, JDR. You'll have to go back and listen. And I also have a video on Clare Bell. Liars have bad memories. They sure do. They cannot keep up, right? Because we go to experiential memory. We try to remember those things that we've experienced. And when you're lying, that's why you forget. Because things that you have experienced are truthful and they stay with you. When you're trying to go off a script that's a lie, it doesn't stick with you. Hello, Bobby. Good to see you. And I agree with you. You definitely can't believe anything people say, and it's hard to believe mostly what you see with your own eyes sometimes. Yeah. Exactly. Right. So, especially with AI nowadays, guys. Some of the videos we see, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. That's AI. That's not real. Have any of you ever got caught like that? I have. I've looked at something, did a double take, and like, what? And then I can tell, oh no, this is AI. Yeah. So absolutely, guys. So think about that. We never, and I'm sure probably every one of us have told at least a little white lie in our lives, right? It always is revealed. It always comes out, right? So keep that in mind, that at some point, yeah. And that's the thing. And I really feel, you've heard the words mom, that's AI far too many times. Exactly. You are so true, Ginger. Thanks for joining us today, you wonderful chatters. I know Granny loves chatting with someone besides me. Oh, yes. Oh, you know what really irritates me, Bobby, is when they take missing children and they put them through AI. All that irritates me to no end. Oh, that irritates me. Honestly. Especially for missing children. Don't use AI. If anybody's listening to this, please don't use AI for missing children. Because we want to see them. If they're out there, we want to see the real them. We don't want to see an AI version of them. Right? There's no Santa Claus. So, once again, we're going on 2 hours, guys. I want to thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you. And yes, I do love chatting with all you guys. So please hit the like button on your way out, and we will see you tomorrow night. Thank you for watching another episode of Granny's Crime Busters. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like and even share the content. You can follow us on any of our other social media platforms at YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We really appreciate you guys, and you can also email us at granny'scrimebusters@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.